No, wait, what were
Do
you
it,
gonna
Mason.
I don't know.
Do it.
Do it.
Respect the performance.
So, and I'm sorry if you've read Dear DJ before, but I specifically picked something I haven't read out loud. Oh yeah, my mom read it recently. She sent me a text, which you may have seen on Facebook if you use it. And she found, randomly, I tried hiding it from her, but she found this story collection. And she texted me and she's like, I love it. It's great. And it was published by Penger Band Party, the ebook website. And she's like, I love it. It's great. I can't wait until it gets published. And it's like, but mine was published on the internet. Why does that count? Okay. Alright, serious face. Dear DJ, when I was a kid, my grandpa was the best at catching frogs. It was one of the only things that made him smile, crouching in the mud with his trucker's hat over his bald spot and snatching frogs from thin air and giving them to me. Usually I hold them for a while in my hands, peering close with my blue eyes until they hopped to the ground and disappeared. I kept one once, threw it in a red cardboard box, intending to take it home to my parents and demand they let me keep it. After waking up the next day, I found the frog underneath a flap of the box, stuck to a piece of clear tape and dead. His body was flat and spread out cartoonishly, like he'd been run over by a car. I imagined dying. It didn't matter how, my body just laying there on the ground, sprawled and flatter than flat. I guess by the time you met my grandpa, we were too old to be catching frogs. This poem is called Dog, but do not worry, it is not an actual dog. It will not lick your hand, or do that thing in the park with the blankets and the basket and the food. Picnic! This dog will not picnic. 1,000 miles away from you is some square-headed lover who doesn't even have your name, let alone your body or your mind. Someone who just isn't you. This dog will not picnic with someone who isn't you, and sometimes we just gotta deal with the fact that this poem is named Dog. When my grandpa died, we were 15. I asked if you wanted to go to his memorial, but you said you were going to a show that night. You'd been going to a lot of punk shows back then, none of which I was invited to. This is when we started to talk less. This is when we were less best friends and more just acquaintances. You had the whole punk as fuck thing going on, and well, I didn't really have anything. We were just continents dividing, I think. When I walked into Grandpa's memorial, I had to go all the way to the back to find him. He looked the same as always in a trucker's hat and t-shirt, but he was, you know, a bit more white, a bit more translucent. When he saw me, my translucent grandpa smiled and tried to put his palm on my shoulder, but he failed. "Where is DJ?" my translucent grandpa asked. I didn't say anything. I was too busy trying to remember the weight of his hand. "Don't worry about it," he said. This poem is titled, "You Left Me in a Pool of My Own Vomit." You left me in a pool of my own vomit. The floaties helped. But everything smelled like vomit. So I kept vomiting and vomiting and vomiting, and I came upon eventually that beautiful moment where I had nothing left to give. Tune in next time for what happens next time. Last time in You Left Me in a Pool of My Own Vomit, I was vomiting. And now I float lazily on my back, the buoyancy of my vomit carrying me wherever the hell I'm supposed to go next. Dead Ghost Grandpa then kneeled down and started snatching at the air. He would offer me his hand after each motion. Standing above him, I'd look down at his open palm, expecting to see a frog each time. Instead, I saw nothing, just his hand, ghostly white and see-through, making the bright red of the carpet behind it painfully dull. This is a poem called I'm Gonna Read About Turtles Fucking. Watch them crack open each other's shells and insert their turtle dicks into the broken darkness. If only we could get past each other's defenses and fuck like turtles fuck. If only we could be inside each other and fuck like turtles fuck. What's the saying? Slow and steady wins the race. I'm of the white race. Tell me how that is going for me. To reiterate, if only we could fuck like turtles fuck. Grandpa was no longer the best at catching frogs. And that's all.